So that's an interesting statement. Can anyone really ever prevent themselves from ever seeing a therapist? I would assume not. Personally, and I guess because I am a therapist, I see the value in therapy, and even myself at times have gone to therapy to help me work through something that I'm going through. So, some of the things that I will say though are as far as just like lifestyle and habits, we can prevent like our symptoms from getting worse if we can just focus on like the basics. So there's this acronym, um, the word with the word please. If you think about the P and the L representing your physical health, always taking care of your physical health. If something's bothering you, get it checked out. Don't dismiss it. Just pay attention. If you constantly get headaches, check them out. A lot of teens feel tired a lot, and it turns out sometimes it's because they have vitamin D deficiency, sometimes it's an iron deficiency. So, if we pay attention to our body and what it's telling us, then we can help ourselves to stay healthier in our mental health. Then the E for exercising, we as humans need to move. Even adults who are standing all day or do some labor that requires a lot of physical activity, that's still not considered exercise. So anything that involves you walking for like a 20-minute period of time, or some people go up to 45 minutes or an hour, but each of us is going to have different time availability. So this is really going to depend. Maybe you want to do 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes in the afternoon. And exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym. Exercise can be other things as well. So be creative as long as you're moving, intentionally moving. Look at this little one back here. Um, and then the S. Now, that one's one of my favorites. I talk to all my teen clients about sleep patterns. So, that's really important. Teenagers need more than the what we hear 7 to 8 hours recommended. Teenagers, your brain is still developing, it's doing so much. And when we're asleep, that's when our brain has the chance to like detoxify, get rid of things, store information. So when you pull all-nighters and expect like to be able to retain information the next day, it just gets harder and harder. And the longer you do it, the harder it gets. So if you're doing that now when you're in high school, that's a red flag. You need to work on that. Um, So sleep, very important. I think it's about 10 to 12 hours of sleep that a teenager actually needs. And then the A, I skipped the A before I went to the S. The A is to avoid substances. Oh, you a little sick, mama? Um, the A is to avoid substances. Usually, yes, teenagers are already exposed to drugs and alcohol. I would also ask my clients, are you like consuming a lot of caffeine? Some teenagers get into the habit of drinking coffee or energy drinks. Those are also not so good because the body is not functioning with its regular hormones and chemicals. You're adding extra things, and then that's going to create a dependency. You don't want that. So it's okay to have coffee here and there, but it's not okay to say, oh, I can't function if I don't have my cup of coffee first. So that's something to watch out for as well. And then the other one I throw in there is sugar, because studies show that sugar is 20 times more addictive than cocaine. So if somebody needs sugar highs to be able to get through their day, that's important to notice. Sometimes we have these type of addictions and we don't even know that it's an addiction, or we don't ever realize that it's an addiction until we start paying attention to the meals, the food, everything. So that's something that I've added to my assessments, to have food logs, like a food diary. So PL, your physical health, um, the E for exercise, the A for avoiding substances, and the S for sleep, and the last E for eating healthy. And this connects to what I was just saying. So our food is medicine. This is something that we don't talk about enough. And that is something that I really did focus on um, during my sessions. Like, what are you eating? If you're eating a bunch of fast food, if you're not eating, if you're going um, full day without eating, that's not good. So one thing I heard a lot was, I'm not hungry in the morning, or when I eat in the morning, then I get nauseous, and then that makes me not want to go to school. So that is valuable information, very valuable. So you want to pay attention to that. If you take care of these areas, which usually the doctors talk about, not the therapist, but a good therapist is going to ask you all of these things, because all of these things are going to impact your mood. So I'm not going to make this video longer, but if you have questions about this, drop them in the comments section and let me know. Or if you have a personal story that relates to what I was sharing, go ahead and add it in the comments. So this is all for community educational purposes. This is not therapy, but again, if you follow these things, you are very well on a healthy track to have a stable mental health, have a healthy lifestyle, and avoid yourself like having to go to a therapist. And again, since therapists sometimes don't ask about these things, people stay in therapy a long time because they're not really addressing habits and lifestyle, and that's important. So apologize. I apologize if my little one's distracting here, but she's been sick and she was taking a nap, but she decided to join us. So have a good night. Share this video if you found it helpful. Till the next one.